What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel for another award season video with Mantz, Jeff. I'm so happy to see you guys. I don't care where it is. I just love spending time with you and talking award season.
Nothing can stop us from talking, the three of us, about award season. We are on a mission to get to the heart of this award season. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about today with the amazing Perri Nemiroff, with the mighty Jeff Sneider, because we are, no matter where we are the FYC team, the three of us.
I love it. Jeff, you're so cozy in that sweater right now. I'm a little jealous.
All right. So overall, I just want to ask, just on the like, what did you just think of the show? Like, regardless of all the controversy surrounding the HFPA, regardless of just the circumstance that we're in, like, did you enjoy the show itself? Perri, what'd you think?
I did enjoy it. I feel like they did what they could with what they had and with the current circumstances. And I don't know, I wasn't super riveted by the structure of the show. I wasn't on the floor laughing every time they cracked a joke, but I was entertained enough from top to bottom. So I thought they did a pretty good job.
I did too. And I got to say, the surprises of the night were what made the show really fun for me. And, Jeff, I know how you feel about the Golden Globes, and Perri, you too. I think, we all agree that when it comes to credibility, the Golden Globes, my glasses have more credibility than the Golden Globes. But here's the thing: it's generally speaking, it's a great party because you get film and TV together, and you get the major categories divided by drama and musical or comedy. So you get a whole lot of people in the room. They serve booze and alcohol. That's under normal circumstances. This year is anything but normal. Even without the pandemic, this was not a normal Golden Globes, especially for the HFPA. But when it comes to other factors that we'll get to when we get to the bigger awards that we're going to discuss, I think that the Golden Globes do make a difference. But Jeff, what did you think?
I mean, I thought it was an award show. I mean, I don't know. There's not a lot you can really do as far as the structure of the show. You still have to give out a ton of awards. I mean, I thought it was whatever. What do you want me to say? I like getting a peek inside these people's homes and everything. But on the other hand, it's like, I don't know, Jason Sudeikis, like, you're nominated for a Golden Globe. Put on a friggin' shirt.
Yeah, I agree with that. But at least I gotta say, Regina King's dog was awesome.
I was half amused by the folks who didn't get dressed up for the awards, and half basically what Jeff said. Like, really?
Yeah, I agree. Come on, show some class.
At least get dressed up all classy from the waist up, and then you can wear, I don't know, sweatpants or boxers or whatever you are on the bottom, and nobody will know.
Okay, Mike, what I want to know, forget about what like the nominees are wearing. Forget about what the presenters are wearing.
What did I wear? I wear pajamas the entire time because I really don't get out of pajamas or sweats in this house anymore.
Jeff, what did you wear? Jeff, do you even remember or care what you wore?
No, I was wearing some nacho cheese dip on my shirt.
Okay. All right, you guys ready to hit these categories?
Let's do it.
All right, so we are kicking it off with the winner for Best Song. It is for The Life Ahead from Scene. I don't really know. I haven't seen the movie, and I hadn't even listened to this song. It just seemed like all four of the other nominees in this category were far more likely winners to me.
I saw the film, and I liked the film a lot. I was surprised that Sophia Loren was not nominated for Best Actress Drama because she is a legend, but that's a whole other thing. I thought this was going to go to Speak Now for One Night in Miami, but I guess, you could look at this as one of the surprises of the night. But then again, Diane Warren is a legend. She can write 3 hit songs before she's even had her grande mocha frappuccino in the morning. So, you know what? I love Diane Warren. Happy that she won. She
Remember going to school dances or bat mitzvahs or whatever, and they would play the Titanic song?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Remember that? What happened to like songs that people would actually listen to outside of a 2-hour movie? Like a song that you'd actually listen to on the radio or put on your iPod. Because all of these songs, they're just these sort of emboldening, empowering anthems that are meant to underline how important the movie you just watched is, but none of them are actually good songs I'd actually listen to.
I agree that none of the songs on this list are songs that have staying power outside of the movie. And by the way, if you're going to talk about like the theme from Titanic, sorry, that's way past my time in high school. I got to go back to let me see, Time of My Life from Dirty Dancing.
You know what song this year that I listened to like for fun outside of movie coverage stuff? It's from the Willoughbys. It's the original song that Alessia Cara did for that one. And if I had my choice for a song to be nominated that really wasn't in the conversation at all, it would either be that or it would be one of the songs from Eurovision. I don't really understand. And I'm not even just saying that because I enjoyed the movie and I like listening to the songs casually. Some of that music truly deserves to be in this conversation right now. And I was kind of surprised that it didn't crack the list.
All right. Yeah. Globes voters have bad taste in music too.
All right. I'll just agree with that and move on. Actually, they don't have bad taste in music because the winner for best score was Soul. And that is what I picked. That's what I was rooting for. I am mighty pleased.
Yes, I was happy with that too. And, you know, Trent Reznor had a 2 out of 5 chance of winning something and he won for the right movie. Although I have to say, you know, we've discussed before in FYC that if Mank was a sort of a front runner to win in any category besides like cinematography, it would have been for score. But Soul won. I'm glad it won. That's what I predicted on here and on Gold Derby. So I was happy with that. Jeff, what do you think?
I still think all of the Reznor adequate. Like I love Nine Inch Nails. I love Trent Reznor. I love this sound, but it all sounds the same. You know, it's the same. I would have gone for Tenet. I really did like what Ludwig Göransson did with that. That was a standout element of that movie. But whatever. Okay, Trent and Atticus, you get it.
All right. I feel like, did you see? I think it was after Aaron Sorkin won. I just kind of like tweeted, I don't know what the official emoji name is, but it was along the lines of a meh emoji. I feel like that's going to be my response no matter what Trial of the Chicago 7 wins or Mank. Actually, I take that back. I'd be happy to see Amanda Seyfried win for Mank.
Yeah, me too. And I just feel like, you know, like before we go any further, we have to mention that going into the Golden Globes, Mank was the movie that was nominated for the most. It was nominated for 6, and it was shut out. It won nothing. And then there's Promising Young Woman, which was nominated for 4, and it was supposed to, you know, sort of a front runner to win in one of them, and it did not. So that also was shut out. So it is interesting.
Was that movie exposed as a genre movie with a prestige gloss to it?
What do you mean, Promising Young Woman?
Yeah, which I think is great, but it's a genre movie that they always ignore, that it just has a little prestige gloss on it.
I look at it as much more than a genre film, but I see your point. But,
you're making genre movies sound less than.
Yeah,
I love them, but in a voter's eyes, they are less than. I think that is just a general rule of thumb, and I feel like that finally showed itself tonight.
Well, considering there's no Invisible Man in the conversation ever, I guess you're right.
Well, you know, I still stand by Invisible Man is one of the best movies of the year, and you know, maybe it'll surprise at the Oscar nominations, but probably not. But I still hope it does.
I think you're right, Jeff. I think it's got like a little too much of a foot in genre territory. And I also think it's just not HFPA content. I mean, clearly they went for it for the nominations, but I'm not all that surprised that it didn't actually win something.
I never thought of Promising Young Woman as a genre film. I just thought it as a very stylized drama, maybe even a dark comedy of sorts, because it does feel like a fusion of being a psychological thriller and even a romantic comedy. It is a very dynamic and unusual film because it defies like a kind of comparison to make it like an easy pitch. So, and look, Emerald Fennell directed an amazing film, and she shot it in 23 days, which is very, very impressive. And but then again, look, I mean, she still could take something at the Oscars. But
I think it's much more the Academy's movie than Globe's voters.
Yeah, good point. Okay, Perri.
Next up, we have Best Foreign Language Film. That award went to Minari. How you guys feel about that one?
Not a foreign language movie. I mean, obviously, it's an American film, but that was a whole other thing. But Minari is a great movie by any measure, regardless if it's an American film, a foreign film, or whatever. And I think a win like this will, even though I just think here's a case where I actually think that the Golden Globes make a difference, and by that I mean not to like, the 87 members of the HFPA, they really have so much credibility, but because of exposure, because whether or not people take the Golden Globes seriously or not, it is still, hang on, just hear me out, Jeff, hang on. It is still a show that a lot of people watch. It is a show that a lot of
But it's not.
Not this year, like the lowest rated.
Maybe not watching it live, but I do think you could probably go on YouTube or on social media and see a whole bunch of viral clips. And if that viral clip is from someone's speech or just something uttering the title of a movie, it does raise awareness in some sense.
Here's my point. So obviously this year, the ratings haven't been finalized, but it is shaping up to be like the lowest rated the Golden Globes telecast in like a really, really, really long time. And I'm sure because of the pandemic, I'm sure because people didn't see the nominated movies because they're so obscure, and also because of the backlash against the HFPA. But my point is that the exposure that a win at the Golden Globes gets. Normally, the Golden Globes are watched by a lot of people, and they have held on to their ratings, where the ratings for the Academy Awards have dropped from year to year. So if people are watching the Golden Globes and they see this movie Minari wins Best Foreign Film, or they see that Jodie Foster wins for Mauritanian, or they see that Billie Holiday won, or that Andra Day won for Billie Holiday, and then Rosamund Pike, that awareness will drive people to seek out those movies. And in a year like this year, maybe Academy voters will seek out movies like Mauritanian and I Care a Lot or Billie Holiday and give them a better footing at the Oscars. That's where I think the Golden Globes really make a difference, is bringing out awareness for people, for voters to watch these movies and even TV shows, to give them a better footing at the Oscars and at the Emmys. What do you think?
I don't really see that at all.
Come on!
Because it brings awareness to people who may not know about the movies, but the industry knows about the movies. The industry knows about Minari. It's been around for like a year plus, so
I don't know. Do you really think every single Academy voter knows about and has seen Minari?
No, I don't. I think more people will be like,
I don't think anyone who has not seen or heard of Minari suddenly sees it win foreign language award at the Globes. Like, I gotta watch that. No one's doing it.
I guess I'm less inclined to believe that an Academy voter watching the Globes will first find out about Minari and feel the need to see it. But if Minari, let's say, is a movie that they've put off and just wasn't on the top of their list, it doesn't matter if it's winning a Golden Globe, really, or getting something in the mail pertaining to that movie's awards campaign. Every single time that title is uttered, it gives someone a better chance of feeling the urgency to see it. So,
thank you.
But I think you're right about Andra Day and Rosamund Pike, that those wins certainly boosted the profile of those titles and those performances. But in Minari's case, not really. And it's a foreign language film. That's what it is.
Because we're on the topic. I mean, look, Promising a Woman, I Care a Lot. I Care a Lot debuted on Netflix the weekend of February 19th. And then United States versus Billie Holiday debuted on Hulu this weekend, the February 26th. So both of those movies are kind of latecomers to award season. And I think that's why a movie like, well, both of those films, for Rosamund Pike and for Andra Day, they did not get nominated for SAG Awards, even though they probably should have. But now that they won these awards, the exposure that they're getting, I mean, those are films where I think Academy voters are going to say, oh, Andra Day won for Billie Holiday, Rosamund Pike won for I, Caroline. I better watch those movies. That's where I think the attention and the exposure will weigh favorably to these two actors in particular.
I agree with you. I agree with you on those points. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. Before we move on, we've got D-Train here with the super chat. Travis Scott's song for Tenet needs to be nominated for Best Original Song at the Oscars.
Interesting. All right.
No, terrible song.
I can't recall it at the drop of a super chat there. I'll have to go listen to it after. All right. Best animated feature.
Slam dunk.
Not necessarily a slam dunk. Soul won it, but I was thinking there was a chance that Wolf Walkers could sneak in there and pull the rug out from under Pixar.
What do you think, Jeff?
Sowell? I mean, that was the moment of the Globes for me, was Sowell.
What?
I mean,
was that deliberate?
Of course it was.
Was it?
I don't know.
Was it? I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either, given everyone's reaction to it. But
if you stick an R on the end of that, it's sour, and that's probably you had Sowell.
He said Saul, like Better Call Saul.
That's what I heard at first.
But either way, when he said that, and then it cut to one of the directors, it was like an awkward cut. Like he was already like into his speech when they cut to him. It was a weird moment, and one of a couple weird technical glitches that they had. But again, it could have been much, much worse. I think that they did the best that they could under the circumstances, but I was not surprised that Soul won.
I think the Oscars will be a little bit more competitive in that category. It may very well go to Soul in the end anyways, just because that's sort of become the consensus. Oh, it's Pixar. Oh, it's about jazz music. It's brilliant. I thought the movie was just okay, and I'd take Onward over it any day of the week.
I thought it was. I think Soul is Pixar's best movie since Inside Out. So
I like Soul quite a bit. Inside Out's still my number one, and I do think Onward deserves more credit than it got.
I agree with you.
We are at Best Film Screenplay, which went to The Trial of the Chicago 7. Yeah, this is the one that got that stinky face emoji from me. This is the one where I was really keeping my fingers crossed that Promising Young Woman was going to sneak in there and take it. I knew it was more of a long shot than, let's say, Trial or Mank, but I was kind of hoping it was going to be the case.
I felt like Emerald Fennell's screenplay, obviously it's brilliant, but maybe just because Aaron Sorkin's screenplay it resonated so much stronger after last year, and with all the protests and Black Lives Matter, I think that and Aaron Sorkin, I believe, won his other film Golden Globe for Social Network. So I that was what I picked. I picked Trial of Chicago 7 to win Best Screenplay, and I wasn't surprised that it won. Jeff?
Yeah, no surprises there. I think that was just their way of rewarding a movie that they otherwise blanked, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, Perri.
But still, that's not a good reason. I think the screenplay is solid, but if you want a real refined screenplay, you look at Promising Young Woman, Nomadland, and The Father in particular, because those scripts are pristine. Trial of Chicago 7 has a bunch of great moments, but the overall structure definitely isn't there, and it's got some pretty weak beats to it.
I agree completely. I agree with you completely. And I think the reason that Trial Chicago 7 won for screenplay was, if it was going to win for anything, that's what it was going to win for. And just like I said, it just the subject matter resonated stronger than the other films that were nominated after the last year.
That's when I started to think about, to a point, though, what you were just saying. Like, it won because that's where it was going to win. I thought at a point that they were just spreading the love to spread the love. Like, it didn't actually matter if a certain person earn something. It was more so because we got to make sure to give one to everyone, except
Absolutely.
a small handful didn't benefit.
But like, it's so much easier to do that when you have 87 members, right? Not 9,000 members.
Sure. And they, who knows if they all like actually like got together to be like, okay, well, let's give Chicago 7 screenplay and let's give director Chloe Zhao.
They travel in a herd, don't they?
I think so.
When you put on a Golden Globes event, chances are you're going to get 90% of the Golden Globes voters, roughly, because it's easy to get 87 people in one room. You can't do that with the Academy. So I do think it's only natural that voters are talking to each other more with the Globes.
Yeah, I do think. I mean, I don't know for sure because I don't know how.
Maybe not this year. They're not traveling as a herd.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they sort of like. Do they just vote like on a ballot, or do they call each other up or get in a room and say, no, we should give this, we should spread the love, so this movie gets this and this movie gets that? I don't know, because I know that's how the LA Film Critics Association, they get together and they're like in a room for like 12 hours, figuring it all out.
And the fact that we don't know, though, that lack of transparency is just one more issue plaguing the Globes. Who are these people?
Maybe they'll just make a speech about it mid-broadcast and just call it quits and say we did our stuff and let's move on.
I mean, the only reason this organization matters at all is because they have a TV deal. Like, what if the LA Film Critics or the New York Film Critics signed an NBC deal, or do they suddenly become the new Golden Globes? And what if the Golden Globes TV deal went away? Do we even pay attention to the show from votes from 87 people you've never heard of?
It could be. That's a big part of the reason why they have such a significant platform, is because they have that TV deal, and just because of history now, they have proven they can get the talent in there. Oh, yeah. And I mean, we talk about the legitimacy of those awards all the time. When you have a platform like that, you need to use it with purpose, and you need to have some legitimacy to those statues you're handing out, or you're going to hear shit like this all the time.
Oh, Perri.
I would just love to see Hollywood cut off the Globe and say, why are we doing this song and dance? And you know what? We're not going to put our talent in the room anymore, and we'll see how long your TV deal lasts. And then the Globes just go away. They disappear.
Well, okay, so now while we're on the subject, yes, well, there's absolutely no question that the Hollywood Foreign Press, these 87 members are at a reckoning. They are at a reckoning, and this is a make or break year. They have got to get their act together with getting Black members within the group, increasing their ranks, opening it up to people who are qualified to apply. I mean, we could get into a whole other 3-hour show about this, but this is I always felt like, I only knew one member of the Hollywood Foreign Press, and I always understood that most of these people are not making a living writing about entertainment. It's something they just do occasionally, and they didn't want to increase their ranks because the bigger the group is, the less likely they will get flown to exotic locations for press events, the less likely they'll get wined and dined, the less likely they'll get really expensive gifts, and less likely they'll get to take a selfie with an A-list star. So that's why they kept their ranks low. But the gig is up. They got to get their act together, and they better do it fast, or they are going to be in very big trouble.
Well, it isn't 100% necessary that they increase the size of the group. You could keep the size the same, and you could still have a group of people that more well represents the people in the world.
Well, unless they kick people out, and maybe they should do that. People who just haven't written much lately, or really aren't making enough of a living or making enough of an impact as foreign journalists, and keep the membership low, or they could increase the membership. So just look, if the Academy has more than doubled their membership in just a couple of years, like if the HFPA doubled their membership, you would still be at less than 200 people. So I don't think that's asking too much for them to increase their membership and diversify.
So they're basically in the HFPA for life, right?
I guess so. I don't know. One person I think is legally blind. I mean, I don't know.
It's a lifetime appointmentship, yes.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, who the hell are these people? And everything that's happened over the last week and a half with the exposure, the negative exposure that the HFPA has been getting has really been fascinating to read about all of it and to see how it's just snowballed with Time's Up.
Let me ask you, do you think that the people in the industry were caught off guard by that LA Times report?
No, I don't. I mean, I wasn't.
So then what is that? It's this fake outrage. It's this fake indignation. Oh my God. Now there's no black journalists. It's in print. Now we need more black journalists. They knew this last year. They knew it 2 years ago. They knew it 3 years ago. They kept playing the game because they wanted to.
Right. Well, that's the feedback that people in the industry have been saying in most of these articles that the LA Times wrote about. Everybody knows that the HFPA is kind of a fraud, that, these people don't, their nominations are ridiculous, but it's again, if one of their films or actors or directors or screenwriters wins a Golden Globe, then it increases their cachet to move on to the Oscars.
Let me ask you, if One Night in Miami and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom were nominated for Best Drama, okay?
Yeah.
Would they care that there was no black voters? Would they care?
Yeah, I think they still would have cared. I mean, I
do you think this would have been a thing if the nominees were more black?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. Regardless of, and I mean, absolutely, I thought Ma Rainey should have been, Ma Rainey in One Night in Miami.
And why wasn't it a thing last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
Because it wasn't. I don't know why. Because the LA Times didn't do their piece on it.
There's a lot of pieces to this too. It's like every single time we talk about upping representation and telling different stories in films, then you also have to consider every single facet of filmmaking too, and the fact that there needs to be representation within every single field. So what I'm trying to get at here is, like, when you bring up those films, it's like, I can't remember off the top of my head what the crop of films we had last year was, but the fact that this year in particular, there were so many black films that were deserving of these honors, and curiously, pretty much all of them are not, or almost all of them are not here. That is so glaringly obvious that you're gonna get a ton of shit for it.
But at the same time, just playing the devil's advocate here, you did have 3 actors win awards, which is the most black performers to win since 2007. Now, wait, hang on. I am agreeing with everything you were saying. I'm not disagreeing with anything. I mean, I just, I read those articles last Sunday, a week ago Sunday, and I'm reading it going, yeah, I knew this. Yeah, I knew that. The thing that I didn't know was that the HFPA is paying its members to sit on committees. That's what I didn't know. And I also didn't know that there are no black members. I didn't know that either. So, I mean, I'm agreeing with everything you're saying.
I haven't even said what I want to say yet. I mean, I don't like the insinuation that more black voters will lead to more black films nominated. Like, this idea that black people nominate black movies. Like, that's not what I want in a voter. I don't want people voting based on the color of their own skin.
But Jeff, by having representation, you're having a different set of eyes. You're having another perspective.
Okay. The next point. That's fine. I'm all for more representation. It's the idea that because if we get more representation, suddenly the nominees and the winners are going to be all black. Because at the end of the day, Nomadland is still a better movie than Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and One Night in Miami. Those are movies. Those movies are based on plays. That's why they weren't nominated. It's not because they were starring and from black people. It's because they were based on plays.
But if you have a bigger membership of black voters, they're going to see something in a film that maybe a white voter just doesn't, and they're going to acknowledge the depth of a performance because
here's the other problem.
Because there's more representation there.
We had all these diverse winners, which is great, right? And they're very deserving. I mean, I haven't seen the Billie Holiday movie, but I heard she's fantastic. And here's the problem.
Fantastic.
The voting was extended till Tuesday, right? So who knows how many ballots were cast after the LA Times thing, right?
Right.
The LA Times was published before voting closed. So how many people said, oh my God, we're facing this diversity crisis. It's a huge PR headache. Maybe I'm just going to change my Carey Mulligan vote to Andra Day. Okay.
Maybe.
We don't know whether that happened or not. And it's not fair to Andra Day that now we are left wondering that.
Well, we're left wondering it, but we can't prove it. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I thought that Andra Day was amazing. It's her first movie. It's her debut feature film acting gig, and she crushed it, knocked it out of the park.
I've heard she's great.
Did she deserve to win over Carey Mulligan?
It's not about whether deserved or not. Was someone else poised to win that award before the LA Times report came out?
That's a great question. You bring up a great point.
We don't know.
We will never know the answer to that. Perri, help me out here.
Well, for the record, we are 3 white people sitting here talking about this. I think in order for it to be a full conversation about the subject matter, we would need to include more people in our conversation right now. So that's an important thing. But also, the idea of adding more diverse voices to these awards groups is just one piece in the puzzle that will shine a light on more movies that are different from the movies that we're used to seeing for so many years now, because the whole industry and opportunity was given to a certain group of people from the very beginning. This isn't the kind of thing where you can snap your fingers and make it go away. We are basically standing on top of the foundation of a whole bunch of bullshit that's been built up for decades. And in order to chip away at those types of things, yes, you need to make a concerted effort to add more voices to these groups. And yes, that will pave the way to more Black films, per se, being added into the equation when you have these nominations.
Here.
You're doing a hypothetical Black voter a disservice, because that hypothetical Black voter could still say, you know what? I thought Nomadland was the best one. And
you're right. And it would be totally fair to use their vote that way. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that by having an all-white voting group, you're even exposed to certain types of films, because the voting bodies are completely closed off to them.
I agree with you, Perri. That's how I feel about it. And
I would say that about every individual out there, because I think there's a lot.
Hang on.
All right, go for it.
Let's say 5 years ago, when the Academy was mostly older, mostly white, mostly male, would Parasite have won Best Picture 5 years ago? I don't know.
I don't think so. No.
I don't think so.
And there you go. That's Perri's point. I think, Jeff, that's your point. That's certainly my point, is that having diversity within the ranks exposes the group to more diversity in the movies themselves. And I think that is, first of all, Parasite actually deserved to win because it was the best movie of the year. So there's that. But I think that it also won because there was a fair voting group that voted fairly on it, because you had so much representation in the group, and it wasn't just a bunch of old white guys.
Although maybe it was a whole bunch of old white guys who voted for Parasite, and all the people of color in the Academy voted for some other nominee last year.
Here, let's bring in a chat right now. Jane Choi is here, and it says diversity and representation harms no one, but they bring a bigger perspective. If your movie is good, it will be recognized.
Hear, hear.
I like that.
Completely.
All right.
Move on.
That brings us to Best Director, where we have Chloe Zhao. And I am mighty excited about this one. I mean, she was pretty much the front runner, and then it panned out. She won.
Yes, she was the front runner. She deserves to win. She's the second woman to win Best Director at the Golden Globes, after Barbra Streisand for Yentl in 1983, the first Asian woman to win. And I believe that, again, not weighing the credibility on the Golden Globes or the HFPA themselves, but I believe the performance of Nomadland for picture, director and picture at the Globes is boosted its chances again for the Oscars, because the movie just dropped on Hulu on February 19th. And I have to say that after seeing Nomadland last September as part of the Toronto Film Festival, virtual film festival, and it won all these awards, it won the People's Choice at TIFF, and it won other awards. And then, like, I kept thinking, like, how is Searchlight going to get voters to see this movie? And then they put it on Hulu because Searchlight is owned by Disney, and Disney owns a very big stake in Hulu. So Disney put Nomadland on Hulu right as award season was going to be underway. And I think that was a very, very, very smart move. And I think that Nomadland is the front runner for Best Picture.
I'm feeling pretty good about that.
For sure. Chloe has been the lock throughout award season. I did think that the Globes would go for Chicago 7 for picture, and the fact that it didn't win the Globe, I think you're right. It means that Nomadland pretty much has this sewn up, even though there's no overlap between the voting bodies, and thus there's no correlation between Globes and Oscars.
See, it's too bad we agree on this, Jeff, because we could have made a double or nothing bet. $80.
Nah.
Come on.
All right.
Amazing. Can I just say that bet was so much fun? Anyway, okay.
We'll find another one, Scott.
Yeah, I want to see what the next one's going to be. All right, we are on to Best Film Supporting Actor. Why is it free?
Yes.
But it is. And this went to Daniel Kaluuya, who I guess it was somewhat of a surprise because I believe Sacha Baron Cohen for the Trial of the Chicago 7 might have been ahead in Gold Derby rankings. But if I had a say in the HFPA, the winner was who the winner should have been. Yeah.
Daniel Kaluuya certainly deserved to win. And I think, again, this is another case that the timing was perfect. This movie dropped on HBO Max and, whatever theaters were open just in the beginning of February. And I think it's a great film. And I think it's supporting actor. This was a tougher category because there were 3 people who were kind of like, could go to either one of them. I didn't think that Jared Leto was going to get it. I didn't think that Bill Murray was going to get it. I felt that Daniel Kaluuya and Sacha Baron Cohen and Leslie Odom Jr. were all deserving. And I was leaning towards Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami as Sam Cooke. But then last week, right before, Gold Derby was done, I changed my pick to Daniel Kaluuya, and I'm glad I did.
I posted a review of Judas and the Black Messiah on my channel, and sometimes I'll just look at the view count just to get a sense of what, a contingent of people at least are watching. And that wound up being one of my highest viewed reviews, which, I don't know, just made me feel really good about the possibility that movie had a really solid launch. So that was just one of the reasons why it was making me think that movie could do well here, and why I think that this is that time in the season where we need to see what picks up momentum. And this could be one of them. And I'm hoping that his success here winds up radiating out into the rest of the cast, because you guys know I want to see Dominique Fishback get a supporting actress nod, where I think that category is probably one of the weaker of the bunch.
Wow. Yeah, no, I agree with you about that being one of the weaker of the bunch. But, Daniel Kaluuya, when I watched that movie a second time, I just was even more riveted. I think if it's a better movie the second time around, and his performance he's just fantastic. Jeff?
I was relieved Sasha didn't win. But I wanted Leslie to win. I thought Leslie was my favorite of those 5 performances. I don't think Amazon has run a good campaign. It's been a very Regina King-centric campaign for One Night in Miami, whereas I think Leslie is probably their best chance to actually win an Oscar, and so Amazon got what it deserved.
Wow. Ouch.
I feel like all the guys in One Night in Miami could have been legit contenders. And I know it doesn't quite make sense to have actors in the same movie vie for an award against one another, or it makes less sense and reduces their chances. But
yeah, every one of those actors was great. I felt like Malcolm X, Kingsley Benadir was he was the standout, but more people have been leaning more towards Leslie Odom Jr.
They're all great in that movie. He was the one that when I walked away, bless you, when I walked away from my first viewing, I thought he was going to be kind of the runaway success in award season. Also, this is totally off topic, but I was thinking about that the other day because I'm a highly allergic person. How do we not see more people on camera sneeze? Like, I think you're actually the first person I've ever seen sneeze while live.
Well, you know what? I think there's something about just the comfort level that I feel with the two of you.
You can sneeze in front of us, Scott.
You know, if I can't sneeze in front of Jeff Sneider and Perri Nemiroff, I can't sneeze in front of anybody.
You are going to make me feel so much better when I eventually have an allergy meltdown mid-show.
Wait, I remember. Wait, was it the first year or the second year when we were in studio? I seem to remember you kind of having some kind of sneezing or coughing.
Totally. I go and I pet Dewey and then I touch my face and it's all over.
Are you allergic to Dewey?
Oh, I'm highly allergic to Dewey.
Wait a minute. You are allergic to Dewey?
That I am.
I never knew that.
That's like Scott Mantz being allergic to a microphone at a Q&A.
That's like me being allergic to the Beatles.
Boy, all right. We're going on to Best Supporting Actress in a Film.
Oh.
We have a very big surprise win there for Jodie Foster in The Mauritanian. Nance, I know you're a big fan of that one.
I think this movie is real. I think the movie is terrific. And The Mauritanian is in theaters now, but it drops on demand this Friday, March 5th. So for everyone watching, if you were not able to see it in theaters, well, here you go. You have an extremely worthy movie that is fully worth the premium price to watch it on demand. It's a powerful film. It's a fascinating film. The acting is absolutely terrific from Tahar Rahim and from Jodie Foster, who I felt gave one of the strongest performances she's had in quite some time. But you know, people weren't really talking about her as a super contender because she already has like 2 Oscars. She won 2 Golden Globes already for The Accused and for Silence of the Lambs. And in 2013, she was given the Cecil B. DeMille Award. So it's kind of like, you know, when you get the Cecil B. DeMille Award, it's like, okay, that's it. And then here she like wins this. And now people will look at this award for Jodie Foster and maybe they haven't seen The Mauritanian yet. I'm talking about voters, Oscar voters, and maybe they'll look at it and go, you know what? She really was great and she could get nominated for an Oscar. She certainly deserves to. I thought she was great in the movie.
I think she's going to end up taking Helena Zengel's slot. I think we were talking about that on a recent FYC episode, and we weren't sure whether Helena was going to get that 5th slot or not. I think Jodie Foster kind of came in and stole her thunder because we're forgetting the Minari grandmother was not eligible to be nominated for a Golden Globe. You know, it was up for foreign language, but no one in a foreign language film at the Globes can contend in other categories.
Well, the other thing you have to understand is that Maria Bakalova, who lost Best Actress Comedy for Borat 2, she's being submitted for supporting actress at the Oscars. So supporting actress is going to be a very, very, very tight field. And I feel like this win for Jodie Foster will give her a better chance of making that cut.
Yeah, now that you guys say that, I guess there is more competition than I was thinking when I mentioned Dominique Fishback, even though I think she deserves to be in there, but she might be too far out on the bubble right now. But I think Jodie Foster is great. I've been talking about The Mauritanian ever since I saw it like a couple months back, and I was hoping that it would open with a little more fanfare than it did. But you know, this could be the push that it needs to get it into the public eye. And I don't know. I think I'm kind of with you. I think it could be the win, could be the push Jodie Foster needed for that Oscar nomination.
Well, Perri, it's a great point. The other thing is that The Mauritanian, which is about this man who is accused, or it's alleged that he was involved in the 9/11 attacks, terrorist attacks. Well, the year is 2021, and this is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And I don't think people are aware of that yet because, you know, we're not into, you know, the late summer where people are really like, oh yeah, that's right, it's almost that time. But this movie does come out in a year that marks the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And when you're looking at supporting actress now, so the Golden Globe nominees here, we're going close Olivia Colman, Jodie Foster, Amanda Seyfried, and Helena Zengel. So knowing that Maria Bakalova is going to get nominated for supporting actress, so maybe she takes out Helena Zengel, and Jodie Foster makes the cut, and Amanda Seyfried makes the cut. Olivia Colman makes the cut. Does Glenn Close make the cut?
Minari's in play.
Oh, so you think the grandmother from Minari could take the Glenn Close position? Good. Well, maybe. I mean, the movie that, by the way, Minari was nominated.
Or Amanda Seyfried.
Right, Amanda Seyfried, I think.
Not a lock. Not someone who people are used to seeing on ballots or putting on ballots.
I'm not a fan of that assessment. I am not a fan of Mank either, just as much as you two are. But that is an example of a performance that really upped the quality and my ability to connect to that movie. And that to me sounds like an award-worthy achievement.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't crazy about Mank, just like the both of you weren't. But I do acknowledge that Amanda Seyfried stood out in the movie. So I do think that she does make the cut.
All right. Before we move on here, Anthony Post is here with a super chat. Do you think Foster's win will get her an Oscar nomination, or will it be a Taron Egerton situation where the Globe win doesn't change the narrative? Thanks. I forgot about that.
Anthony, I do think that Foster's win will give her a better position to get an Oscar nomination, certainly. And like we just discussed, I think that let's say before she won, let's say Helena Zengel was in the conversation for an Academy Award for News of the World, I think maybe Jodie Foster is more in the conversation. Especially, I have to say, she was so her reaction on TV when she won was so genuine. And she's sitting there with her wife and her dog, and she's wearing really cool pajamas. I mean,
one of the best screenshots of the entire thing.
I thought her reaction was so genuine and sincere that that's another thing that could endear people to watch the movie, acknowledge and appreciate her performance, and push her to an Oscar nomination. That's a great question, Anthony. Thanks a lot.
I think it's a possibility, Anthony, but I do think that it's a lot easier to get 90 people to watch The Mauritanian and a lot harder to get 9,000 people to watch it. I think it's maybe one of the worst titles I've ever heard for a movie.
I do agree. The title is not the greatest. But it's still a very good movie.
Yeah, it was good. I thought Jodie Foster was better than Amanda Seyfried. I'd much rather see her nominated, but I think that Seyfried and Mank probably will get it on the fact that just the Academy's seen Mank, and I don't know how many have seen Mauritania.
All right, Perri, what else we got?
Well, Anthony, I called you Anthony, I think. Apologies. We also have Caleb here. Every time Caleb drops in a super chat, I say something football related, and I don't really have anything for you right now except JJ Watt going to the Cardinals.
Oh,
that is something.
Sack City.
Next category is Best Film Actor in a Comedy or Musical, and this is where we come right back to the Sacha Baron Cohen conversation. He won for Borat. I had a feeling he wasn't. I thought he was going to win for Trial of the Chicago 7 and not this, because I thought that the HFPA was going to want to give Hamilton a win in one of the categories, and I thought Lin-Manuel Miranda might have been the one to take it here, but I guess the flip-flop does make sense, because I thought Sacha was going to win something.
I felt like Sacha Baron Cohen was the front runner, and we're talking about Best Actor, Musical, or Comedy. I mean, Borat 2 was such a landmark film for no other reason because of Bakalova's performance and that great moment near the end with her and Rudy Giuliani on the bed. But this movie resonated because it was an election year and it was a shocking moment that everyone was talking about. And he is the star of the movie. He is the creator of Borat. And I feel I knew immediately he was certainly who I picked to win this category. And I was not surprised that he won.
Yeah, I was happy for Sacha. I mean, again, we've seen Borat before, obviously. He's done this, but I didn't want Lin-Manuel to win because that's a filmed play, not a movie.
Yeah, I agree.
It shouldn't even be eligible. And Andy Samberg playing a goofball, like, you know, I liked him, and I know the Globes like him because Brooklyn Nine won that Globe this year. But yeah, I think given the you know, contenders, Sasha was a no-brainer.
I wanted Hamilton to win something. I understand that argument and why it's not eligible elsewhere, but that was a show I wanted to see for so many years, was never able to get tickets, and only got to take part in it because Disney Plus released it.
Yeah, me too.
I really think it was very well directed too, and it played very well in that format. So I wanted to see it get some recognition for that achievement. All right, Mantz, contain yourself.
All right, wait. Perri, I know where you're going. So I want you to pretend that you are announcing the winner of this next category, so I can do a play-by-play reaction on what I really did when this actor's name was announced.
You ready for it? Here we go. Yep. And the winner for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy is Rosamund Pike.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Yes! 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 Oh my God! I knew it! Rosamund Pike. This is what I've been saying. She was my dark horse on the FIC where we were talking about the acting nominations. And I kept praising this movie. I kept saying, guys, I'm telling you, she's great. This movie's great. She's awesome in this movie. And this more than Rosamund Pike, more than Jodie Foster, or more than Andra Day, I feel like the one actor who has the most to gain leading towards an Oscar nomination out of all these surprises, this is the one, because it is on Netflix now. I'm sure every freaking Academy voter has Netflix, and they're going to go, oh, wow, she must really be good. I better watch this. And then they're going to watch the movie, and they're going to say, wow, she was really great. I'm going to nominate her for Best Actress.
We did our Best Actress predictions, and I don't have the list handy, but looking here, so thinking about this win propelling Rosamund Pike into the Oscar consideration pool, it feels like, yes, it will do that to a degree, but do you think that, and I'm jumping ahead here, do you think that Andra Day's win is also going to give her a little bump along the way, and she's just more firmly in that ranking than Rosamund Pike is at this point, and it's too much for Pike to catch up?
Well, that is an amazing question, Paranormal Activity. So that is a great question. Like, because Andra Day won Best Actress Drama and Rosamund Pike won Best Actress Music or a Comedy, who gets that slot? Okay, at the Oscars, there's only 5.
I'll tell you who falls out.
Are locks. The other 4 are locks.
Vanessa Kirby.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. I don't think she should, because I think that is a true jaw-dropping performance, and I can't believe what she has to go through in that movie.
Right.
But is, like, Pieces of a Woman is not being talked about in any other category at all. And I do think, and I believe one of you brought this up on the last FYC, that just the nature of what that movie is about is going to turn people off. And, you know, as much as I want everybody to see everything that could potentially be nominated, I kind of understand why some folks might not want to sit through that.
All right. I think, well, it's a very, very good point. So either both Andra Day and Rosamund Pike make the cut, and maybe Vanessa Kirby doesn't. We're talking about the Oscar nominations here for Best Actress. Or Vanessa Kirby stays in the conversation, and that leaves just either Andra or Rosamund. Now, on one hand, Andra Day's performance, I mean, it's a tour de force. I mean, she knocks it out of the park. It is an amazing performance, but the movie I Care a Lot is overall, I would say, a better, more fully realized, better structured film than The United States versus Billie Holiday. And Rosamund Pike, she was last nominated for an Academy Award for Gone Girl, which came out in 2014. So I feel like Rosamund gets in.
I'm gonna go Andrew Day over Rosamund there. If it just comes down to the two of them for one slot.
You know, it feels like I could bring back the genre idea. I Care a Lot tiptoes too close to being a genre movie, maybe. And United States versus Billie Holiday is more of a classic type of nomination.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Jeff. I think we found our bet.
So the bet is if only one. So forget, if it's both of them, whatever. If it's neither of them, whatever. But if only one of them gets it, Day over Pike, and you're saying Pike over Day.
Is this our bet?
I'm down to do it.
So if both of them get in, then it's a wash.
Yeah, it's a wash.
Right?
Or
but if
neither.
only one of them gets in,
I think it'll be Day over Pike.
Oh man, am I ready to make that bet?
Yeah, that's a tough call there.
Wow, I gotta sleep on this.
You sleep on it. Let me know.
That's a good bet. Okay, everybody watching, hit us up on Twitter. You know our Twitter handles. What do you think? First of all, is this a worthy bet? Is this a good bet? Who gets in between Andra Day or Rosamund Pike? Comment below. What do you think? First of all, what do you think about who gets in, Andra Day or Rosamund Pike? Or maybe both of them get in. That'd be great if both of them got in. But if you had to choose between one or the other, who do you think makes the cut? And should I take this bet? Comment below on Perri's channel right here. Do it. Let us know. This could be our bet.
My opinion to myself on the matter. I'm not going to sway anyone out there, but I got feelings on this bet. Right now, we're going to best film, musical, or comedy. That award went to Borat, which, okay, I think Palm Springs should have won it, and I thought it was going to go to Hamilton for the reasons that I said before. I thought they were going to give Hamilton a win in at least one category.
In terms of should win, Palm Springs should have won. It's a brilliant movie. It was a feel-good movie. It was very clever. It was very smart. How they pulled that off, the movie had a lot of depth to it and a lot of emotion. It resonated. There were aspects of the film that were open to interpretation, with like the dinosaurs and the ending of the movie. But again, because Borat was more of a pop cultural kind of phenomenon, I predicted Borat would win, but I wish that Palm Springs actually took it. Yeah.
I was fine with Borat winning. I really feel strongly about any of the movies in this category, and I think it's just the political atmosphere and everything that gave Borat that win. I'm
just having a flashback to Sandra Oh's introduction for Palm Springs, which I thought was delightful. So there's that too.
That was very cute.
That was funny. Yeah, that was funny. And by the way, this is the first win for Amazon or for a streaming service to win Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy. So Amazon is, they're doing pretty good.
I did not know that. Thank you for the fact, Mantz.
They did acquire it, though. They didn't make it.
Right.
All right. We are up to Best Film Drama Actor. And this will be the shortest conversation. So my tweet for this one was Chadwick Boseman wins Best Actor in a Drama. And I think I said, as it should be. And that's it. Because that's it. And it should be that way. He deserves it. That is one of the most phenomenal performances I've seen in years.
Yeah, a great performance. Deserved to win by any measure. And it was a really, really moving speech by his widow at the end. Taylor Simone Ledward. Just it was a great moment, and I think this you can bet the house on Chadwick taking it all the way to the Oscars.
I was just rewatching Da 5 Bloods also because I got to speak to Delroy Lindo this morning, and I wasn't so much on board the train of Chadwick Boseman getting nominations in both Best Actor and Best Supporting.
Yeah.
He is really good in Da 5 Bloods also, doing exactly what a supporting performer should.
Yeah.
I don't know, the way he shines in the scenes that he's in, but also makes sure that you feel that character's presence throughout. I don't know. I'm giving him more credit than I ever was for that movie as well.
Well, he could get nominated for Best Supporting as represented by the Globes. You know, do you really think Jared Leto is going to get nominated for Best Actor?
I will lose my mind.
What about Bill?
I don't think I can handle that. And listen, Jared Leto is a good actor. Not for that movie.
Okay. Also, Bill Murray. Does Bill Murray get nominated? Because we take either of those actors out, and Chadwick Boseman stands a great chance. He was nominated for. It was Bill Murray and Jared Leto were nominated. Okay.
Get rid of both of them. Give it to Chadwick and Paul Raci.
Yes, please.
There you go. Spoken. Absolutely. And by the way, Chadwick did get nominated for both lead and supporting at the SAG Awards. So that does bode well for him getting nominated for an Academy Award for supporting and lead and winning lead. Anyway, moving on.
2 more to go. We've got Best Actress in a Drama, and this is where we've got Andra Day.
Andra Day. Wow. That was first of all, it's really interesting because here you have Andra Day. It's her first acting gig in a movie, and she wins the Golden Globe for Best Actress Drama. So Diana Ross, back for 1972's Lady Sings the Blues, where Diana Ross played Billie Holiday, she won a Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer Female. So I guess you want to win an Oscar or win a Golden Globe, you got to play Billie Holiday. But yes, this was the big surprise. Carey Mulligan was favored to win, and
she looked pissed. By the way,
what?
Did you see Carey Mulligan's face when she lost?
It did not.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
It looked like she was ready to take some Cassie-style revenge.
Well,
no, I didn't see it. Did you see it, Perri?
Well, we didn't really talk about the production of the whole thing. I was kind of enjoying those little kind of awkward beats we were getting with the group of nominees before they were called up next. Did you guys like that at all?
Yeah, they were a little too awkward, though. It's like people weren't either ready to be on camera or they didn't know they were. Or...
Sometimes they were awkward. They were either real awkward or real charming. One or the other.
Wow.
That's the thing. Half these actors, they can walk into a room, anywhere, and light it up and turn it on. And the other half, without a director or a script, they are just bumps on a log with no personality.
Well, awkward situations, and sometimes when you're in a room and under that pressure, I kind of understand it.
They're probably all wasted at home too. What else are you doing besides drinking yourself away?
There was someone that I said that about. Like someone was just like having a good time.
Fincher.
Was it? Well, yeah.
Fincher was taking shots after every loss. I would watch a whole award show where Fincher just takes shots.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe the ratings would go up. But I'm kind of happy to see Andra Day win. If I were to pick in this category, I would go with Frances McDormand, because Nomadland was just my favorite movie of the year, and I think she's great and supernatural in that movie, as she always is. But Andra Day is kind of another example of what I brought up before, where her work in that movie takes it from like here to here.
Agreed.
And when she's carrying as much of a movie on her shoulders as she is right there and still excelling so much, she deserves to be honored for it.
I agree. I thought the movie was good. I thought she made it great because she was great. Jeff, you want to watch it?
Didn't see it.
Watch it. It's on Hulu. Just freaking watch it. Right. Watch it.
It's well worth it for her.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Just watch it.
She's
watch it anyway.
So it's over 2 hours, right?
It's about 2 hours, exactly. Yeah, it's like 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Okay.
Just trust.
I'll add it to the list.
Trust Perri.
I hope so. All right, last one here. Best film, drama, and it's Nomadland.
Nomadland.
Buzz across the board. This one is on its way to a whole lot of Oscar love.
Yes, it is. And if this movie does indeed win the Academy Award for Best Picture, so this movie came out in 2020, that will mean that over a 12-year period, Searchlight Pictures will have won the Oscar for Best Picture 5 times. So they won for 2008, it was Slumdog Millionaire. For 2014, it was Birdman. For 2013, it was 12 Years a Slave. And for 2017, it was The Shape of Water. So again, I mean, even with all the changes that Searchlight has gone through after being acquired by Disney, and after all the changes that the pandemic, the toll that the pandemic took on the theatrical side of the movie business, and here is Searchlight. They are so goddamn smart. They are so friggin' smart. They know what they are doing. Whatever they're drinking, whatever they're eating, I want to eat it. I mean, they are so smart. When I first saw the news that Nomadland was going to be on Hulu, I went, they are so smart. So it wins Best Picture Drama, and it just dropped on Hulu. And all the other voters who haven't already seen it, because it has been playing at film festivals since September, and everybody got their DVD screener, they're making sure that everyone who can see this movie will see this movie.
Maybe that crate that they sent out to a whole bunch of people was filled with that special sauce food you're talking about. All right. I think that brings us to the end, unless there's anything you want to add about Nomadland's chances, Jeff.
Nope, not really. I mean, I think Sony's dropped the ball here. Sony Classics distributed The Rider, and when they made that deal, they should have signed Chloe to a 2-picture deal, or said, we're going to finance whatever comes next for you. The fact that she was a free agent coming off that movie, you know, it's Searchlight's gain for recognizing what a talent Chloe is.
And now she's off to Marvel.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Good buzz on Eternals too.
Ooh, I like it.
So for everyone watching, the next episode of FYC will air when? A week from Wednesday, right?
Soon. Let's not give a specific date.
Okay.
I don't think we can confirm that yet, but I'll suggest that everybody out there follow us all on Twitter and social media in general, because once we have our shoot date locked and our air date locked, you can bet we are going to tell you right as soon as we can. So in that case, Mantz, where can everyone find you on the internets? Okay, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Movie Mantz. Make sure you subscribe to my brand new YouTube channel. It's Scott Mantz. I've got a lot of great film content on my brand new YouTube channel. I really need support for my brand new YouTube channel called Scott Mantz. Head over there, subscribe to it, and you will not be disappointed. And thank you for your support. That link is in the description section of this video. So all you got to do is copy and paste it, click it. It's that easy. Thank you, Perri. Before I toss it to you, let's answer Leon's question. Yes, the next episode will be on Collider, so we will get you a link as soon as that's available. Jeff, where are you on the socials?
Don't follow me on Twitter. Twitter's a horrible platform. Leave that website, for Christ's sake. You can follow me on Cameo, but if you order a Cameo, order it on the website, not the app. Wow.
Ever heard anyone plug a Cameo at the end of one of these things? All right. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Nemiroff, and then I'm going to send you on over to Collider, where you can watch at least one little chunk of my conversation with Delroy Lindo, because he's wonderful, and it is all about Da 5 Bloods being snubbed by the HFPA. Oh, my puppy. Okay, you got to say, like, Max has been by my side for this entire broadcast. Max has been whispering in my ear all the things that I was supposed to say. He was the one who helped me pick out all my choices on Gold Derby. Max, okay, Max is actually the brains behind Movie Mantz. This Pomeranian, and don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. This cute little Pomeranian will rip your head off. He is a killer Pomeranian, and he may look all cute on camera, just like Jeff, but he is a killer, and he will drink your blood for breakfast. I don't think there's a better place to end. So we are out of here. Man, now's the time to say it.